Hey, welcome to the pull list for December 26, 2012, presented by LongboxRadio.com. I'm joined here by Derek, who's flipping through the pages of Spider-Man 700, which is, of course, there it is. That's the variant cover there with all the names of everyone who's ever worked on Amazing Spider-Man. Super, super cool. Really cheap variant, too. It's like $13. And the main comic is $8, because it's super thick, as you can see. Look at that thing. It's like a quarter of an inch thick there. I'm kind of small in the corner here. We're just doing a quick video. There's not much to talk about today for comic books, so there's literally 3. So we have Justice League number 15 from Jeff Johns, Ivan Rice, of course. This is starting a new event over at DC, and this is the Throne of Atlantis. So this and Aquaman 15, I believe, came out today, and they're going to be tying in together. So I don't know, Justice League, man. Have you read any New 52 stuff? Do you read comics?
Not very often.
Derek, like many, is into all things nerdly, so keeps up with comics, but doesn't necessarily read them, as it were. Same with Trevor when I have him on here. Yep. Past that, from Marvel, basically had the 2 books this week that I picked up would be Amazing Spider-Man 700, which we'll talk about in a second, and then Avenging Spider-Man 15.1, which I wouldn't have picked up, but Mike Haynes said it was actually a pretty cool epilogue, so I grabbed it, so there it is as well. So, Amazing Spider-Man 700, the controversial Amazing Spider-Man 700. A man has been... People have been threatening a man's life over this book.
They have been.
That's insane. It's a comic book. Anything can be undone. Spoiler alert here. Peter Parker has died, I guess, in the body of Dr. Otto Octavius. Dr. Octopus is now inhabiting the body of Peter Parker, has all of Peter Parker's memories as well, and will be continuing on as Spider-Man, as the superior Spider-Man, because he will, make him better in every way. So, that's where we're at in Spider-Man. It's moving on in January as Superior Spider-Man. That's a really, really neat idea. I understand entirely where people will be coming from if they're really, really upset that, their character, this character they love is now... That'd be like if the Joker became Batman, really. I mean, maybe not that... Same idea, though. You're like, that character you
Joker
like is...
Totally...
He's a lie. But that's the thing. It's not permanent. Dr. Octopus won't be Spider-Man forever. Don't worry about it. Just go with it. Derek, who doesn't really read comics, now wants to kind of check out Superior Spider-Man based on the fact that it's so neat, so different.
It's awesome.
Just go with it. There's tons of Spider-Man stories out there. They've retconned crazy stuff before. If we've gone through Brand New Day, we can get through Superior Spider-Man. Just go with it. See what happens. It's really, really neat. Avenging Spider-Man, you get to see Dr. Octopus kind of make his let's call him Spider-Man now. Make his suit and how he kind of changed things up. And even at the end of 700 and in this book, you kind of see him realize that, well, if I think I'm so great, and Peter Parker has been such a loser this whole time, how come he doesn't have adamantium built into his web shooters? How come he doesn't have cool telescoping eyepieces in his mask? What an idiot! Yet he's still able to defeat me every time. And there's gonna be a lot of that kind of played off in the book. And one of the key things to remember for number 700 is that Peter Parker and Carly Cooper have some words, and he tells her that something's up, and she kind of dismisses it at the moment, but we'll see later with the investigation into Dr. Octopus's death that maybe she kind of blows it wide open, and it's going to be very, very neat when someone confronts Dr. Octopus and is like, "You're not Peter Parker. What happened?" And all the Avengers are like, "What's our move now? Do we lock him up? Like, he's Spider-Man."
No,
who knows? You're still getting to the end here.
Yeah,
super neat. It's not the status quo. It's something a little different. It's getting people who don't read into comics. If you explain this to them, it's so interesting. They may go pick up a book. And again, it's not permanent, so don't get too bent out of shape with it. We'll see where it goes. All the Marvel Now stuff has been really, really great, so I'm expecting the same from Superior Spider-Man. Dan Slott took a chance going with something like this. Like, you could easily make number 700 be, Spider-Man versus Doc Ock, Spider-Man versus, Kraven the Hunter, if he wasn't dead, I believe, still. Cool stuff like that. But no, they mixed it up, they did something new, and they're moving it forward, and they took a character that it really very much is the epitome of status quo over at Marvel, and mixed him up in one of the biggest ways possible by putting his greatest enemy in his brain. I can't say I've ever read another book like that. So that is the pull list for this week. We are doing a year-end roundup show podcast. Actually, this weekend, I guess, was the idea. So we're going to be talking about our favorite books of the year and stuff like that. Get a podcast out there. The podcast will probably sound a little shoddy still as we're recording on a laptop, and then the room's not really set up yet, but that'll happen all the same. Mike's also got a redesign for the website coming out, so take a look for that. It'll be looking very sexy. Do we have any digital codes? Does this come with a digital code? It's a variant. I guess it didn't. Nothing digital this week, but next week I'm sure we'll have something for you guys. So that's the pull list for this week. Say goodbye, Derek. Nice.